Liana was not born into comfort, she was born into noise, the noise of overdue bills slapped onto the kitchen counter, whispered arguments behind thin walls, and neighbors who believed dreams were only for people who could afford them. Her childhood home stood at the edge of town where the streetlights flickered as if even they were unsure whether to stay lit. Paint peeled from the walls, the front steps creaked under years of wear, and hope sometimes felt just as fragile. Yet inside that small house lived a girl whose eyes carried a quiet fire. From a young age, Liana understood pressure. She saw it in her mother's tired hands after double shifts and in her father's silent disappointment after losing his job. Teachers encouraged her to be practical, a word that really meant small. But Liana's dreams were never small. She wanted to become an architect and design buildings that touched the sky, structures that carried dignity, strength, and possibility. She would sit by her cracked bedroom window sketching towers and bridges, her pencil moving with stubborn determination while the world around her insisted she shrink. High school became her first true furnace. Money was tight, so she worked evenings at a grocery store stocking shelves beneath harsh fluorescent lights. After each shift, exhausted but unwilling to quit, she studied at a small desk in her room. While others slept, she reviewed math formulas. While others relaxed, she searched for free online lectures. The pressure was constant, pressing against her from every side. Some nights she cried quietly, not because she wanted to give up but because carrying so much responsibility felt heavy for someone so young. When she applied for a prestigious scholarship and received a rejection letter in return, the sting cut deep. For a brief moment, doubt felt louder than her dreams. Sitting on the curb outside her house with the letter trembling in her hands, she wondered if the world had been right about her all along. But a neighbor gently reminded her that diamonds are not formed in comfort, they are shaped by years of heat and compression. That night, instead of throwing the letter away, Liana taped it above her desk as proof that she was brave enough to try. College brought a new kind of fire. She earned admission to a state university with partial financial aid, sharing a cramped dorm room and juggling 2 part-time jobs to survive. Many classmates seemed effortlessly confident, speaking about connections and opportunities she could barely imagine. For a time, she felt like a rough stone among polished gems. In one architecture studio presentation, her hands trembled as she explained her design for affordable housing built with dignity in mind. Some students questioned her ambition, but her professor saw something different. Ambition is a foundation, he told her, and those words rooted themselves deeply within her heart. From then on, she stopped apologizing for dreaming big. She entered competitions, often losing but always learning. Each critique sharpened her skill, each setback strengthened her resilience. Fire, she realized, removes impurities. During her junior year, life tested her more harshly than ever. Her father fell ill, and medical bills mounted quickly. Guilt weighed on her every time she paid tuition instead of sending money home. One evening, overwhelmed and standing alone in the architecture lab, she nearly quit. The project in front of her, a community center symbolizing strength under stress, felt ironic when she herself felt ready to collapse. But a message from her mother reminded her not to return home because things were hard, but to return because she had conquered them. Something shifted inside her. She understood that pressure was not evidence of breaking, it was evidence of becoming. She stayed, finished her project, and to her astonishment, won a regional competition. The prize money helped her family, proving that her perseverance carried more power than her fear ever did. Graduation arrived not as a finish line but as a new beginning. Though she walked across the stage proud and transformed, the job market presented another trial. Applications went unanswered, interviews ended politely but without offers, and savings dwindled. Yet this time, she did not crumble under uncertainty. Instead of waiting for opportunity, she created it. She began freelancing, helping families redesign small spaces with creativity and care. She documented her projects and shared the stories behind them, believing deeply that beauty and dignity belonged to everyone. Slowly, her work gained attention, and eventually a respected firm specializing in sustainable housing called her for an interview. When asked how she had managed to accomplish so much with so little, she replied simply that innovation thrives in constraint. Soon after, she received the offer that marked the beginning of her professional breakthrough. Years later, Liana stood at the construction site of her most ambitious development, an affordable housing project designed with sustainability and community at its core. Cranes moved across the skyline, concrete poured into foundations, and the structure rose steadily toward completion. As she watched it take shape, she reflected on every rejection, every sleepless night, every whispered doubt that once threatened to derail her. None of it had destroyed her. It had refined her. She realized she had not simply built buildings, she had built herself. The pressure she once feared had carved strength into her character and resilience into her spirit. She understood now that she had never been fragile glass waiting to shatter. She had always been carbon under pressure, steel in the forge, a diamond forming in darkness. The fire had not consumed her, it had revealed her brilliance. And standing beneath the golden light of the setting sun, she felt certain of one truth: pressure does not break those who refuse to surrender, it creates diamonds.